One beautiful spring day, a red rose blossomed in a forest. The rose turned its head and remarked, "It seems that I am the most beautiful plant in this forest." Then the rose looked at a cactus and said, "Look at that ugly plant, full of thorns." The pine tree said, "Red rose, what kind of talk is this? Who can say what beauty is? You have thorns too." The proud red rose looked angrily at the pine and said, "I thought you had good taste. You do not know what beauty is. You cannot compare my thorns to cactus." What a proud flower, thought the trees. The rose tried to move its roots away from the cactus, but it could not move. As the days passed, the red rose would look at the cactus and say insulting things like, "This plant is useless. How sorry I am to be his neighbor." The cactus never got upset, and he even tried to advise the rose, saying, "God did not create any form of life without a purpose." Spring passed, and the weather became very warm. Life became difficult in the forest as the plants and animals needed water and no rain fell. The red rose began to wilt. The pine tree explained that the birds got water from the cactus. "Does it not hurt when they make holes?" asked the rose. "Yes, but the cactus does not like to see any birds suffer," replied the pine. The red rose felt too ashamed of its past words and behavior to ask for water from the cactus, but then it finally asked the cactus for help. Moral of the story: in life, we may come across with different kind of people based on race, color, and culture, but we must not judge them based on their appearance, because God created each and every one of us with purpose. Jesus gives a direct command to judge. Stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly. John chapter 7 verse 24. Here we have a clue as to the right type of judgment versus the wrong type. Superficial judgment is wrong. Passing judgment on someone based solely on appearances is sinful. It is foolish to jump to conclusions before investigating the facts. Simon the Pharisee passed judgment on a woman based on her appearance and reputation, but he could not see that the woman had been forgiven. Hypocritical judgment is wrong. Jesus' command not to judge others in Matthew chapter 7 verse 1 is preceded by comparisons to hypocrites and followed by a warning against hypocrisy. When we point out the sin of others, while we ourselves commit the same sin, we condemn ourselves. Harsh, unforgiving judgment is wrong. We are always to be gentle toward everyone. It is the merciful who will be shown mercy, as Jesus warned. In the same way you judge others, you will be judged, and with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Matthew chapter 7 verse 2. Self-righteous judgment is wrong. We are called to humility, and God opposes the proud. In Jesus' parable of the Pharisee and the tax collector, the Pharisee was confident in his own righteousness, and from that proud position judged the publican. However, God sees the heart and refused to forgive the Pharisee's sin. Untrue judgment is wrong. The Bible clearly forbids bearing false witness. Proverbs chapter 19 verse 5. Christians' judgment requires a deep knowledge of right and wrong and the courage to truly love and care for the well-being of others. It also requires us not to allow our thinking to be